Download the KHON2 mobile app for the latest news and weather.
Aloha mai kako, I'm Chris the Tronic. E komo mai. As this year's Molokai Ihoi World Championship fast approaches, we're spending this week looking back at KHON2's previous coverage of the most exciting races over the years. Now tonight, we'll go back to the year 1998 and ride alongside the leaders as two local clubs battle to bring the championship crown back home.
Last year it was the Australians. They had a great race, and this year they want to come back and hold on to the trophy.
We got off to a good start and everything went to plan. And for this year, we want to do the same. Obviously the conditions are going to be a lot different, and we've got the crew to do it, just depending on the day and how things work out.
But Lanikai came in second, and having won the two previous years, do they want to bring the trophy home?
Most definitely, mostly for selfish reasons, but it's always great with great competition. You know, it means a lot with, you know, such great paddlers out here to be successful at bringing the trophy home or back to Lanikai or back to Hawaii, however you want to, you know, say it.
The Tahitians are back and strong, and all the crews will be fighting to get across the Kaiwi Channel first in this, the 1998 Banco Molokai Hoe.
So the stage is set. This is the World Championship of Long Distance Outrigger Racing. Aloha and welcome to the 1998 Banco Molokai Hoe. I'm Leslie Wilcox, and with me one of our race analysts, Rocky Higgins.
Hi, Leslie. I'll tell you right now, all the camaraderie on shore is done with. The game faces are on. The guys are getting ready. Reflections from last year, they're only reflections. Now is the real thing, and these guys are out here. 47th crossing, Banco Molokai Hoe, and we need to get it on. 41
miles, and we're talking the arena of 25 miles of open ocean.
Open ocean, I'll tell you right now, the key is this start. We've got 3.5 miles to go on the coastline. There's some new things going on this year. 30 of the best crews that finished last year will be given the opportunity to position themselves on the race course on the starting line on the inside. Now that'll give them some advantage. That also may create a problem because of the fast getaway with all the boats getting out fast. That could create a logjam. Now when they get down to the end of the island at Lau Point, there will be a problem possibly with the longer change. 45 minutes will put them into the ocean, and problems could occur there.
The start of the race is here at Hale'olono Harbor. Then it's 4 miles to La'au Point on the southwestern side of Molokai, and on to Diamond Head, Ainahaina, Kahala, and ending at Fort DeRussy Beach. And last year, Australians made this a double sweep. We saw the women of Australia take the race a couple of weeks ago.
I'll tell you, the kids from down under are tough. And like you said, the women, back-to-back victories. Is there pressure on the men? I had the opportunity to talk to Brad Kane this morning, and he said, Rocky, we're happy to be back here. We are defending champions, but we came here to just paddle well. Win or lose, we're going to paddle well. The late Kalaku Kea had a great saying. He said, you know, Molokai morning is like Christmas morning. You know you don't know exactly what you're going to get, but you know it's going to be good.
We're getting close to the start of the race now. In a moment, we'll come back and you'll meet another race analyst, Daryl Hara, and you'll see some of the contenders in this, the 1998 Banco Molokai Hoe.
Hawaii is a place like no other. From our islands to our people, it is uniquely us. And for Hawaiian Telcom, it's been home for 140 years. It is why we've invested $1 billion in the last decade to give Hawaii the best connections, technology, and future. And we aren't done yet. Introducing Fioptics Plus, best-in-class technology for the best TV experience. Now connecting more homes in Hawaii faster than ever.
He wa'a, he moku. He moku, he wa'a. A ohe hana nui ke aloia. E ho'o kele kāko I ko kāko hua ka iana.
Are you ready for a staycation? I know I am. Experience Waikiki with the Surf Jack. Come for a
stay and visit our Mahina & Sons. Amazing island cuisine in a hip vibe atmosphere. Nightly live music, masterful food and drink from our executive chef and bar czar. And don't forget your furry friends to meet Jack, our hotel dog. The Surf Jack, the best place to be in Waikiki. Check out our Shack with the Jack specials.
On the next Living 808, we're going to dress up and take a tour of the brand new haunted house called Trial of Fears. We're going to give you a sneak peek with some laughs and some scares.
Plus, with the Molokai Ihoi this weekend, we thought it'd be perfect timing to show you the Aloha Surf Line at Bloomingdale's. We'll head over to Ala Moana Center to check it out and get details on a different credit card event that's also happening.
Yep, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages on Facebook and Instagram at Living 808 TV. That's where you can join us every day right here on the show.
Welcome back to the 1998 Banko Molokai Ihoi. We're very close to seeing this get underway. Lots of hopes are riding on this, lots of prayers as well. And earlier this morning, a longtime figure in the paddling community, Anona Napoleon, delivered a prayer for the Australians as she was asked to do.
I have asked all your ancestors to come here, and I've invited them to paddle with you today and to give you the strength when you're weak. The canoe is only a means for you to travel, but you are the ones that will give it the power to go and go beyond that, okay? And when you do your invitation to your ancestors, ask them to go out and protect everyone that's here.
One of many gatherings this morning to consolidate thoughts and look for help from above and from teammates. Now we go to Daryl Hara, who's going to give us an idea of race conditions. Daryl.
The conditions this morning are beautiful. The sun came up and the sky is relatively clear. The wind is light out of the east at about 10 miles an hour. The tide today is high at a little after 9 a.m. and the forecast for the channel is that the seas will be around 8 feet and the wind is going to pick up to about 20 knots. So we're looking at a relatively bumpy channel early on as we get off the point from La'au. And as we get further into the channel, hopefully it'll smoothen out, but then it'll get rough again as we get towards the middle and closer to Coco Head.
Thank you, Daryl. There is a line, a semblance of a good line, and the race is starting.
Lanikai are on the furthest inside of the course. Looks like Outrigger of Australia is close second with Hinano Hoi from Tahiti in a close third.
The paddlers are off on their mission. This program is being devoted to the steersmen, and we'd like to share a comment with you from one of the most veteran steersmen in this race, Nappy Napoleon.
The steersman, he gotta control the motor, you know what I mean? He gotta see who's off timing, who's in timing, and stroke, keep the stroke, the count of the stroke, and you know, same time he gotta know where he's going, and you know, all that. Then the paddler, all he do is just follow the person in front of him and pull hard. That's about all, you know. Steersman, you gotta do all that. You gotta try pull, and you know, you gotta just, I guess the figure, you gotta everything going in his mind, you know. You gotta have a good crew too, you know what I mean? Good crew. Well, everybody gotta work together. Let's put it that way. But steersman, you know, you get a good steersman, you kind of pretty good, almost won the battle, I guess. You know, you get a good steersman.
Nappy Napoleon, just one of the great steersmen we will be encountering across the channel. Rocky, who are some others?
I'll tell you, Leslie, there are 100 of them out here today, and every one of them has an important role. Some of the more celebrated steersmen, Tom Connors is out here today. Billy Balding going to be very instrumental in that outrigger mix of veteran and young rugged paddlers. With his guidance, they could be a surprise today. Mike Sterling Field with the Waikiki Beach Boys, an exceptional waterman and steersman in his own right. They go on Todd Bradley. He could give an edge to the New Zealand crew that's here, knowing the waters and with his expertise. But these guys are the keys.
Outrigger of Australia broke out to an early lead. And right now we're looking at about a half boat lead, and they are in front of sort of a dark horse, the Kiwis from New Zealand. And a surprise in third place at this point is Outrigger Canoe Club of Honolulu. Lanikai Canoe Club is a close fourth, with Hinanohoi of Tahiti in fifth place. This early stage of the race, it's crucial to be at La'au Point in position to challenge for the win. And psychologically, if you're not there with the lead pack, it really dictates a different sort of race for you for the rest of the day. So these guys are going flat out here and are going about as fast as you'll see them go throughout the course of the day.
We're pulling up alongside now of the Outrigger Senior Masters crew.
Leslie, this is a crew of true veterans. In this boat, you've got 6 guys presently, but there are 3 waiting for that in great anticipation for their entry into the race. But they've got 4 paddlers who have won the open race 4 times. They've come together as master paddlers and have won that. Now they're on a mission to the Senior Master Championship. A lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and a great drive to keep working this race.
Senior Masters, that's 45 and up. No limit on the upper level.
No limit on the upper level. Their nemesis today is the Kona Athletic Club, a great group of paddlers. I believe some of them are probably triathletes, but that's going to be their battle today, and it'll be just great to see how they do.
Right now we're looking at a head-to-head battle between the boys from Down Under and the Kiwis from New Zealand. This year, Todd Bradley from the Outrigger Canoe Club of Honolulu is at the helm for the Kiwis. Last year they finished 23rd and are here this year to have fun, and have mentioned earlier that they're just proud to be here and represent the sport of Hawaiian canoe racing.
These guys are big guys. This is a big crew. They're really solid. What's interesting about this group of guys is a lot of times you get a lot of really big physical paddlers, but they don't have a lot of paddling technique. These guys have come from a paddling background as growing up around paddling. Now they've gotten big. So they've got the mechanics of paddling, and they're really strong.
I'll tell you, Leslie, I think I was 1 or 2 years old when they began this daring challenge, and you're right, absolutely, with Toots Minville being a great visionary and creating a daring challenge to a small group of watermen, and it's expanded, and I think that today his vision had to be something like this. To quote the Field of Dreams title, if you build it, they will come. These are world-class athletes mixed in with our great local paddlers.
Later, another race analyst, Walter Guild, will be giving us a technical look at steering and what's involved in it. And we'll find out how all of these canoes have gotten to Molokai. And it's not by paddle power. A team doesn't have to be slugging it out for a lead position to be loving this. We talk with some of the paddlers about what brings them out here.
I know, you gotta do it from your heart. The more heart you give, the more conquer you can do. The channel is like the Super Bowl of all paddling. I don't know, just hope we come through it as hard as we can, do as best as we can. I don't know, you just gotta love this sport to do it.
There's a strong sense of community on the Waianae Coast. It's evidenced in our schools, in the lives of our students and teachers, in the successful academic and athletics programs, and community activities we support. We celebrate the good times. And when there are problems, we come together to solve them. PVT is proud to support the things that make us who we are.
With over 6,000 colors to choose from, SureCan is your premier power coating service on Oahu. Are you a car enthusiast, building manager, contractor, or even a homeowner needing custom work or restoration? We sure can. All of our work comes with a satisfaction guarantee. Power coating your wheels? We sure can. Skip the tire center. We do it all, even new tires. When you choose SureCan, you're choosing superior quality and speedy service. If you need it done, we sure can.
At Aloha Kia, we value listening, so we've been trying to figure out what it sounds like when you come through our doors. Yeah, you'll hear those things, but it's more than that. Getting closer. That's it. It sounds like Ohana here, and that's what it feels like too. Explore our lineup today, including the 2024 Kia Telluride and Sportage, both Consumer Reports recommended SUVs. Aloha Kia. We hear you.
Go inside Rainbow Warrior Football with John Vanieri and head coach Timmy Chang. Preview upcoming games. Hear from coaches and players. The Timmy Chang Show. Thursday night at 6 on K-High. Friday night at 8 on KHON2. Brought to you by these fine sponsors. It's timely, informative,
and free.
The KHON2 mobile app is Hawaii's highest rated, most downloaded local news app. Accurate, relevant, up-to-the-minute news and information you can rely on. The KHON2 mobile app.
It's essential.
KHON2, Hawaii's weather source.
Welcome back to the 1998 Banco Molokaʻihoi. We're looking now at the men of Huinalu. Let's take a look now at our Starbucks coffee leaderboard.
Throughout the course of the day, we're going to see battles head-to-head in every part of this race. But right now, in the lead pack, we've got New Zealand, Mai Tai Shell, Outrigger Canoe Club of Honolulu, Lanikai Canoe Club, and Kaiopua all battling head-to-head. This is why these guys are here. The ability to pit yourself and your effort against the very, very best in the world. In years past, we've seen a washing machine of escort boats, canoes, paddlers in the water, which made for a very, very dangerous situation. This year, what they've done is they've imposed a 45-minute rule. You cannot change or relieve paddlers until 45 minutes into the race. What that will do is it will allow the canoes to get out into the channel, take their different course lines, and spread the pack out. It will make things a lot safer for the paddlers and open things up quite a bit. The relief paddlers are in the water for New Zealand. As the canoe approaches, the paddlers will unzip. The paddlers in the water will space off to the seats they're climbing into. Let's take a look. A pretty good change. They've built themselves a nice cushion in front of the rest of the pack so that they could give up a few seconds on that first change.
Leslie, we're coming into the change, the first change for Huinalu's #1 crew under the direction of Nainoa Thompson. 3 paddlers in the water. Their escort boat is right here. Paddlers are in. 4 and 5 are out. 4 and 5 are in. And off they go.
This is an international team we're looking at.
I'll tell you, Huinalu, with Nainoa Thompson's connection to French Polynesia, has got 3 Tahitian paddlers in there, and they're sitting 1-2 right now.
Let's go to Daryl now. He's at the front of the pack.
Team Mai Tai Shell from Tahiti. As we mentioned earlier, the Tahitians do not come this far to race if they don't feel that they have a chance to win this. This obviously is their strongest crew thus far in the race that we've seen. They've been in the hunt from the beginning, and right now are racing head-to-head with Lanikai Canoe Club in the background. Just ahead of them is Team New Zealand and Outrigger Canoe Club of Honolulu. Only about 2 to 3 boat lengths ahead. On a day like today, or any day in the channel, your steersman really plays an important role in guiding your canoe across the channel to Oahu. His role is not only to navigate the canoe, but to bring out the best in each and every paddler in the boat.
The steersman located in the back of each canoe has one of the most unique and important jobs out of the entire crew.
He's responsible for navigating that boat and steering it through the ocean conditions. They'll use a couple of basic techniques to do that. One of them is called a poke, where he can stick the paddle on the side of the boat, locking it in. The drag from the paddle will pull the boat that direction. He can either go left or go right by using that. He also has a stroking technique where he can pull the back of the boat to the paddle, and he can pull left or right as well. These are basic techniques that are used, along with a certain paddle that he will use that's different than the rest of the crew using. The steering paddle has a straighter shaft and a different shaped blade, making it more efficient for the steersman. The shaft of the paddling paddle is angled to allow the blade to stay straight up and down longer through the stroke. Most steersmen will pick their paddles for the conditions of the day. The bigger, straighter shaft paddles will be used in the rough conditions, and more of a paddling paddle with a more angle on the calmer days. The steersman is the quarterback for the crew. He's responsible for getting information from the escort boat, reading the conditions, and making split-second decisions. He also has to navigate the canoe properly to the waiting paddlers who are coming in to make each change. Many of the top steersmen have almost developed a sixth sense and can read the bumps, the currents, and the wind lines. Even though the conditions have been generated many thousands of miles away, they've got to recognize them and be able to take advantage of them on the race course on that day. The more experienced steersmen will anticipate the swell and actually move the stern of the canoe up into it to harness its speed and energy. The less experienced steersmen will get hit by the swell, then react, which slows the canoe down. Most of the top steersmen will cross the channel Ironman, which means they stay in the canoe the entire race. One of the largest elements affecting the canoe is the wind, and in the Molokai Channel, it hits the canoe predominantly from the right side. To counter this, the steersman will have to spend most of his day poking and paddling on the left side. That makes for a long day in the canoe.
It's time to change paddlers for the Slovakia crew.
Leslie, this is an augmented international crew, and by that I mean there are paddlers, world-class paddlers, flatwater paddlers from Slovakia in this boat, and they have paddlers that have Hawaiian ties. I see Todd Sandvold, former outrigger paddler who lives in Saipan now, and he's come aboard to help these guys. So it's an international flavor.
A lot going on in their part of the world, and it's nice to know they can take time for these pursuits.
Absolutely. It's great to see any foreigner here. They make a great contribution to making this a great race.
The Kiwis are making a crew change. Slow down in the water a little bit. Looks like they brought some water into the canoe. They're bailing. Outrigger Canoe Club in the background with Lonnie Kai and Mai Tai Shell coming up really fast. This is where the attention to those little details like bailing and changes really come into play for a veteran crew.
So this says Molokai Ranch, and they're actually sponsoring this boat, but this crew is actually paddling under the name from their Maryland, USA, but there are 7 Germans in the crew. They're C1 paddlers. They spend a lot of time paddling on one knee, and their steersman, amazing enough, is from Australia. So we talk about the United Nations and the foreign gathering to do this race. It's just unbelievable what you'll find out here in the Kaiwi Channel.
The international pole of the Banko Molokai Hoi.
I love the sport because it brings a lot of people of different nationalities and cultures and brings them together as one team and go out there as one. It's an ultimate team sport, you know, in my opinion.
For over 90 years, Scott Hawaii has been perfecting the local slipper, creating iconic footwear that's long-lasting and comfortable. Your favorite styles are here. The Makaha, defining casual island lifestyle. The rugged Manoa, with all-terrain tread. The Kaikane, featuring island vibe straps. The Kaiko, footwear for your fishing fantasy. Choose Aloha with slippers from Scott Hawaii. Every step taken is in the spirit of the islands, protecting Hawaii's vavai since 1932.
Your retirement should be enjoyable, but with everything costing so much, it can be stressful, especially here in Hawaii. A reverse mortgage is a loan designed for older homeowners that eliminates your monthly mortgage payment, helping you pay bills, remodel your home, or whatever you want. Remove the worry and go back to doing what you love with the ones you love.
Call 808-422-8000 and let Primary Residential Mortgage show you how a reverse mortgage can enhance your retirement.
Hawaii is a place like no other. From our islands to our people, it is uniquely us. And for Hawaiian Telcom, it's been home for 140 years. It is why we've invested $1 billion in the last decade to give Hawaii the best connections, technology, and future. And we aren't done yet. Introducing Fioptics Plus, best-in-class technology for the best TV experience. Now connecting more homes in Hawaii faster than ever.
In an election year, our social media feeds can fill up with sensational claims and unfamiliar sources. And in the age of artificial intelligence, it's not hard to make a fake video look like the real deal. With so many tools, tactics, and motivations for spreading false content, we need to be on the lookout for bad actors looking to sway our votes. If you see a damaging post, image, or story about a candidate or issue, make sure to verify whether it's real or not before you share it. Falsehoods spread much faster than facts. Be informed, not
We're back with the Banco Molokai Ihoi in progress, and this is the Honolulu Canoe Club under the direction of John Young. Let's go now to the Starbucks Coffee leaderboard.
Right now, Team New Zealand is about a half boat ahead of Outrigger Canoe Club of Honolulu. Close behind them is Lanikai Canoe Club. The lead we've seen change hands many times in the last few minutes. In a close fourth place, we've got Mai Tai Shell. And this group of 4 canoes is distancing itself from the rest of the pack.
Rocky, there's our good friend Ron Mizutani. We've been looking for him out here, and here he is on Hui Lanakila's craft.
Leslie, last year we left him alone. That was his first crossing. He's a veteran now. This is his second crossing. He knows what the channel is about to a degree. We saw him smiling. We know he's relaxing his face. And I'll tell you, he's done such a fabulous job covering this sport and helping it raise the level, a true world championship. It's just great to see him out here. And you could see it in his eyes. When he kept watching and kept reporting, and suddenly he said, you know, I got to do this. I really have to do it. And there he is.
All right, back now to Daryl. See what he's up to at the front of the pack.
Up here in the front of the pack, we've really got a battle raging between Outrigger Canoe Club of Honolulu, Lanikai Canoe Club, and the team from New Zealand, the Kiwis. At this point, what's going through the paddlers' minds? Don't give up an inch. When you get out of the boat, hydrate yourself, rest, get under some shade, prepare yourself to get back in and give me all you got.
Leslie, this is Lanikai 4, and I have a special interest in this group of guys, not only because they're from Lanikai, but in number 2 seat, we're looking at Pram Gould. This is a youngster that came from Cambodia. He was adopted at about the age of 13 after living a tremendously horrific life in Cambodia. He's a hemophiliac and came to Hawaii because of a man by the name of Ron Gould and his wife. And I had the pleasure of coaching him over the years in high school paddling. You talk about the heart of a lion and what it is to persevere and conquer. And I have the greatest admiration. I mean, he's a mini hero, and I say that only because of his height. But you can't measure the greatness in this youngster. He's just a tremendous young person.
Let's go back to Daryl because he is at the front of the pack and there is a slugfest there.
2 weeks ago in the Banco Navahini Okekai, the women took a southerly course to Oahu. It appears that some of the coaches from the men's crew were up here and were schooled by that. It appears that Kala Judd from Outrigger of Honolulu is taking a southerly line, as well as New Zealand. We're about 1 mile south of the Rum line, and I've got Outrigger Canoe Club on my left and Team New Zealand on my right. Further south, maybe a half mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile, is Lanikai Canoe Club. I've got to believe that the course here is taking the path of least resistance to Oahu. The steersmen are steering the canoe along a line that allows for them to keep their hull speed constant. The men of Lanikai are looking strong and confident as they make their way towards Oahu. You know, to be a front runner at the Super Bowl of ocean canoe racing, they've worked hard and put a lot of training hours in. Over the last several years, the use of one-man outriggers for off-season and cross-training has really come into play.
One-man training allows us to stay in shape year-round, whereas you know, once the 6-man and 9-man season was over in the past, it was over, and then there wasn't a system to keep everybody in shape, and you have to do that now or you're just out of the money.
One-man season is important because you learn, you know, to push yourself. You learn the ocean. You're out there chasing with your friends. You're chasing with your crewmates, and they beat you some days, you know. You beat them some days, but you know they're in physical shape. It teaches you to worry about yourself and then come together as a 9-man crew. So one man's a very big part of us, especially now with a lot of us with families and, you know, different lives. We can't spend as much time as a group together as we did in previous years. It allows us to train, get fit, and for the last month come together and hopefully put on a good performance in Molokai.
Rocky, in this canoe are examples of how varied an appeal this race has. These are North American natives, Canadian Indians.
This is the Salish warriors from British Columbia, Aboriginal people. That's where their heritage lies, just like the Hawaiians, you know, involved with the ocean, involved with the streams, involved with the rivers, paddling. It's a natural outrigger canoe paddling all the way from Canada.
These canoes are getting a workout as well. You know, getting to Molokai to begin the race was much easier for them. They got a lift. Let's see how.
The clubs they'll transport their canoes to the Young Brothers for us, and Okra or Nawahini will then make arrangements for the canoes to be shipped out to Molokai. And once it gets on Molokai, we do contract Jerome Coloma Jr., who will haul all the canoes to Haleolona for us. For Nawahini, it takes 2 days. We have 2 shipping days. And for the men's race, Okra, it takes 3 shipping days to ship the canoes out.
Thank you, Hanny. We'll be back with more coverage of the Benko Molokai Hoi. But first, we take a moment and see why so many of these men are so passionate about being out here.
That hope of seeing that island coming closer and closer, and that accomplishment you're going to have at the end of the race, that keeps me going. I mean, that's another inspirational drive. Just like, no matter how tired you get, it's like you see the island, like, just around the corner, just around the corner, just around the corner.
He wa'a, he moku. He moku, he wa'a. A ohe hana nui ke aluia. E ho'o kele kāko I ko kāko hua ka ihana.
Wow.
Wow, wow, that's the word, wow.
Yes. We've been married for about 20 years, and here we are with 3 kids.
I've noticed as I've been getting older, performance in bed does go down. But with Activation Clinic, as far as size, endurance, stamina, my wife was very
impressed.
Yes.
Activation Clinic provides safe and effective, clinically proven treatments to boost performance in the bedroom. Put the spark back into your relationship. Call us today for a private consultation.
Tee it up for Crime Stoppers.
Yes, grab your clubs and gear up for the 2024 Crime Stoppers Honolulu Benefit Golf Tournament set for Wednesday, November 6th, right here at the Hawaii Prince Golf Club.
It's a 9-hole scramble format. Scratch golfers and hackers alike are all welcome to have a great time. There'll be a food tent on the golf course and an awards banquet to follow. And we've got great prizes.
To register, just visit our website at honolulucrimestoppers.org.
Hope to see you there.
When life takes a challenging turn, when you need specialized health care, certified specialty nurses make a difference. Dedicated to lifelong learning, their specialized skills include the latest developments in patient care. Throughout your life, no matter what you're faced with, From primary to critical and advanced care, certified specialty nurses and advanced practice nurses make a difference. Learn more at certifiednurses.org.
Continues at the Banko Molokai Hoi. We're here with Okalini Nani, a team from Kihei, Maui, in the middle of the pack. But we want to check out what the front runners are doing with the Starbucks Coffee leaderboard.
Lanikai's in front right now, but not by much. Outrigger Canoe Club of Honolulu is a close second. New Zealand, the dark horse, has dropped to third, and Outrigger of Australia has battled back to fourth.
Thank you, Daryl. Let's see who we pulled up next to. Rocky, who are these guys?
This is another crew from Australia, Leslie, and you know, we think of Outrigger Australia and we know they're up in front, but this is Maladuka from Mackay, Australia, and they're out here in the middle of the pack, battling away. So even though we think of Australia as number one, we know that they've got some competition, and they're back here in the middle of the pack as well.
All right, another team from Australia is quite a bit closer to the goal. While these guys are struggling, we want to go to the front of the pack where, of course, there's struggling going on as well. And let's check in with Daryl.
We're about 7 miles off of Koko Head. Lanikai Canoe Club seems to have taken charge of the race here. The front pack is spread out from left to right over the course of about 2 miles here. Got Outrigger Canoe Club of Honolulu up north, and maybe about a quarter to a half mile behind on a more northerly course. We've got Team New Zealand a little bit south of Lanikai, probably a half mile to the south, and another quarter mile to the back of Lanikai. Directly in back of Lanikai, maybe about 3/4 of a mile, we've got Outrigger Canoe Club of Australia trying to make a charge. At this point, it looks like Jim Fode's course is right on target for Diamond Head. Everybody else seems to be taking their own lines, maybe feeling that they can't race alongside and keep the same kind of hull speed. Lanikai Canoe Club looks like right now they're riding the surf to Koko Head, taking advantage of the help that the ocean is offering.
Leslie, this is Outrigger's senior masters crew, and there's no better surfer than Brant Ackerman. He's got a line that he's working towards Diamond Head. We're at about the 3.5 hour mark, and behind the canoe you can see waves that are coming at their broadside. But within the trough of these waves there are smaller bumps, and he's able to catch these and sort of jettison the canoe ahead. But that comes from the guys up in front. Big John Finney, again, another one of those 4-time Open winners, doing a phenomenal job paddling there in 4-seat. But Brant sees him, he asks for the help, and they push that canoe ahead, and he's able to hop on these little bumps that come up within these big troughs.
As we understand it, Mai Tai Shell from Tahiti is in 5th place right now, and we've been watching them with a high stroke count and a method born of different canoes and different waters, right, Rocky?
Leslie, you know, they're capable of going as high as the high 70s and even into 80. And a reason for that is their superb condition. And also in Tahiti, where many of their races are around flatwater lagoons, the water displacement, because of their actual canoes, is not as great as the Hawaiian canoes.
We're a couple of miles off of Portlock Point here. We're taking a look at Outrigger Canoe Club of Australia, the defending champions. Lanikai Canoe Club has established a pretty good lead at this point, and really the race here is for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Outrigger of Australia got off to a great start, and they battled their way back up to the front of the pack. It seemed like they had some problems early on, but they've worked through that. But the battle rages on for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with Outrigger Canoe Club of Honolulu, Outrigger of Australia, our defending champions, and the newcomer to the bunch, New Zealand.
Thank you, Daryl. Now, we pulled alongside Lanikai 3, a Masters team, which is about to change 2 of its paddlers, Rocky.
They've got 2 in the water. This is a Masters crew, 35 and over. And these are the guys that, you know, sometimes when you think of 35 years of age, that's kind of a little bit old. But I'll tell you, this is an up and happening group, this division. They just executed a great change. They're still on their hard drive towards Oahu. And we've got some other great Master crews out there today.
We do. And Ron Barron is one of the Masters competitors today. In the women's race earlier, he drove a jet ski, which allowed our photographer Betty DiPolito to get some great up-close and personal shots of paddlers. Well, we'd like to talk with Ron just a bit about his pride in his subcategory.
Well, for us, it's a bond. 9 guys paddling together, practicing together. For us, bonding is important to have that subdivision.
Thank you, Ron. And also on his Hui Lanakila Masters team is Jim Hewitt, who is a news photographer who knows how to work off the stress on that boat, Rocky.
I'll tell you, Jimmy Hewitt is an excellent paddler, and I've been in regatta competition against him and seen him paddle from behind me to ahead of me, and it's great to see him out here because Fox 2, right there on the water, you got the best.
Rocky, what's going on right here?
Well, right now we've got a great battle actually between boats of different classes. We've got He'enaulu O'Marin and Koakai Masters paddlers. So this is an open crew here in the red and yellow, and right behind them is Koakai. And that's a great contrast because you've got paddlers that are 35 and over and an open crew. And the interesting thing about this crew from Marin, you know, the Bay Area of California, is that they came last year and a lot of their training was under the Golden Gate Bridge. They would wait for the tide, the currents to change, and they said they found phenomenally rough water to train in that general area. It's a mixture of guys from Hawaii and a Bay Area contingency.
These guys are still going strong at the 4-hour mark. We'll have more coverage of the Banco Molokai Hoi as we take a look first at some of the other places along the way.
Well, it just gets in your blood. It's the outdoors, the sport. It's one of the few sports that is really a team effort, and you have to work together to make it click. That gets you out. If you're running or you're biking, you don't feel like it, you got many excuses to stay home. This way, hey, everybody's depending on you, and so you got to come out and hold up your end of the deal, and it's great.
Turning Point Chiropractic has been a blessing in my life.
We find and treat the cause of your pain and tightness, leading you onto a path of healthier and pain-free living.
We've had success treating patients with back pain, neck pain, knee, hip, and shoulder pain.
Most health insurances include chiropractic benefits. We can assist you with your coverage.
7 Oahu locations, open 7 days a week.
Live your life pain-free with Turning Point Chiropractic.
Need help with a blocked drain or failing pipes? 535 Plumbing can help without digging holes or destroying walls, cabinets, and floors, while saving you money at the same time. Using NewFlow's pipe relining technology, we create a pipe within a pipe, making them stronger and preventing further damage. Repairs work on all types of pipes: PVC, cement, steel, clay, copper. Our team at 535 Plumbing is here for you.
In that second, he turns around, he sees the gun trained at his head. So we're standing in a stalemate, put your gun down, drop it. You drop your gun. As I stared up at the stars, I said to the Lord, I'm coming home. Save my soul, but don't let me live. Don't let me wake up. He answered my prayer and didn't answer the next one.
On the 700 Club, Thursday.
Coastline. Welcome back to the Banco Molokai Hoy. And we are 5 miles from the coast, and we see Kailua Masters Club giving Huilanakila a little ways back, a run for their money out here. Let's go now and check the interesting things developing on the Starbucks Coffee leaderboard.
Right now, the battle head-to-head is with Outrigger of Honolulu and Lanikai. 2 local clubs going head-to-head here. In 3rd, 4th, and 5th, it really is too close to call. We still have the New Zealand crew. We've got Outrigger of Australia, our defending champions, and we have Kaiopua and the Waikiki Beach Boys all battling it out. But at this point, it looks like a race between Lanikai Canoe Club and Outrigger of Honolulu.
Thank you, Daryl. Rocky, here we are back with the Kailua Surf Club.
This Kailua Masters crew really has their boat up and running. You know, like I said earlier, we're in the 4th quarter. We're just outside Mauna Bay. The current's backed up. They're kind of seesawing their way along, but their steersman's finding bumps to ride, and they're really doing well. They've given Huilanakila a little bit of a drop, as they say, dropping them behind, and they're paddling hard for Diamond Head.
And a very heated race going up front. Daryl?
This is Outrigger Canoe Club off of Mauna Lua Bay, working the water, working the waves, working the swells. Right now, their course selection has proven to be a good one. Coach Kala Judd chose to stay more north than the rest of the pack. Lanikai is on a more southerly line and is outside, maybe about a mile to the outside of Outrigger Canoe Club. Right now, Billy Balding is surfing the swells. I think he's in a little bit better position and is closer to land here. We won't know until the 2 courses converge at Kahala and Diamond Head, and at that point we'll be able to better tell whose line was better. Now Lanikai may have to pay here as they come in and cut across the current, cut across the channel and the chop to get back in closer to land, and that's where Outrigger Canoe Club may have an advantage.
Thank you, Daryl. We're here now with the men of Dana Point, California. And what do you think of these conditions, Rocky?
We're just about 3 or 4 miles off the shoreline, and what we're running into is that shelf of shallow water that backs up during currents when they start moving up. So we have wind swell coming down out of the northeast. We've got a current backing up into it. But amazingly enough, these guys are able to ride. They're surfing. So they may be just outside the shallow water shelf, able to jump on swells and ride them. They're doing a great job with it.
We have a dogfight going up front. Let's go up there now and check with Daryl.
Okay, we're off of Diamond Head right now, and the battle rage is on. Outrigger and Lanikai are battling for first place, and we're looking at the New Zealand team. The Kiwis have been battling all day, staying in the hunt for the race, but right now they're in 3rd place, and it looks like a local club is probably going to come home today with the trophy. Okay, we're approaching the Outrigger Canoe Club in the sprint for the finish. Outrigger's straighter line down the coast proved to be the better line today. Lanikai, coming from a very southerly line, having to work their way across the swell to get in, found that Outrigger was just a tad in front of them here off the lighthouse at Diamond Head. But as we approach the Outrigger Canoe Club's home waters, it looks like Outrigger of Honolulu has got about a 4 or 5 canoe length lead here. What an exciting finish to a great race.
Leslie, we're looking at Malulaba, this phenomenal Masters crew from down under, from the Sunshine Coast. And interestingly enough, there's a local boy at the helm. This is Kenny Powell, originally from the Big Island, who moved down to Hamilton Island and never went home. Big engine guys. We talk about big strapping guys. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4 in this boat. Tremendous size, tremendous power, and these guys are making this canoe hop on this water.
Let's take a look at some of the other paddlers who are making this race so memorable. tough race, and it's going to be a great finish at Fort Tarusi. We'll be back with the finish of the Banko Molokai Hoi.
The Ala Moana Hotel by Mantra. There's more to it than meets the eye. We've become a destination of our own, welcoming accommodations. Relax on our beautiful pool deck. Memorable dining with epic views. Wake up with a stroll to breakfast. Eat, shop, and stay. Pamper yourself with spa therapies and trendy hairstyles. Unique venues that allow you to escape. This is your hotel. Ala Moana Hotel by Mantra.
Caring for a loved one can bring great joy, but it can also take an enormous toll on a caregiver. As a caregiver, it's crucial to take care of yourself if you're caring for someone else. Watch Wake Up Today for Kupuna Caregiver and learn how folks have found ways to self-care while caring for loved ones.
Kupuna Caregiver, the first Monday of the month on Wake Up Today. Sponsored by St. Francis Healthcare System of Hawaii.
Dear parents, we know life can get crazy. Sometimes that's our fault. Sorry. But can we take a time out for a second and think about how awesome play is? This thing we love to do, just because it's fun, is actually helping us grow in all kinds of ways. It teaches us to think, to play nicely with others, to use our imagination, to practice being grown-ups, have some tea, and to be creative. And the only trick to getting all that stuff is to play in all kinds of different ways. Because different kinds of play give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. By the way, you're doing a great job with everything. Love, kids.
On the next Living in 08, we're going to dress up and take a tour of the brand new haunted house called Trial of Fears. We're going to give you a sneak peek with some laughs and some scares.
Plus, with the Molokai Hoi this weekend, we thought it'd be perfect timing to show you the Aloha Surf Line at Bloomingdale's. We'll head over to Ala Moana Center to check it out and get details on a different credit card event that's also happening.
Yep, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages on Facebook and Instagram at Living 808 TV. That's where you can join us every day right here on the show.
Back to the Banko Molokai Hoi. We're off Diamond Head, and the Tahitian team, Fa'a'a, is getting closer to the finish line at Waikiki, but other teams are even closer, and let's go up and check them. We'll get a fix on the leaders with the Starbucks Coffee leaderboard.
Thanks, Leslie. This will go down in history as one of the greatest finishes to a Molokai Hoi. Right now, we have Outrigger Canoe Club of Honolulu in first place, but Lanikai is not far behind. New Zealand is in third, and it looks like the defending champs, Outrigger of Australia, is in fourth. As the Outrigger Canoe Club crew crosses in front of their home, the Outrigger Canoe Club on the beach here, I would imagine the reception there on the beach is going to be just crazy. What a great thing it is for Hawaiian canoe racing to have a local club bring the title back to us. Better than that, having two local clubs go head-to-head all day.
Thank you, Daryl. And Lanakila Canoe Club is here right off Waikiki, Rocky.
Leslie, actually, this is Lanakila. There's some paddlers from California, and there's what we call a group from Hawaii Canoe and Kayak. Johnny Pokea from the windward side of the island here is steering. Up in front is Chris Ball. These are some of the great paddlers off the U.S. World Teams, the flatwater paddlers. Nalukukea is in the escort boat, is also a member of this team, and they're making a great run to finish their venture across the Kaiwi Channel.
They can practically see that finish line. Let's go up there now with Daryl.
Under the shadow of Diamond Head, put your hands together for the open men of the Outrigger Canoe Club. Outrigger Canoe Club.
the young guys who have a future for it. You know, we've been telling them it can be done. You're trying to make them understand and believe. And God, I'll tell you, at my age, I never dreamed I'd see another one of these. I'm thrilled.
Coming in second, this is canoe team number 1 from the windward side of Oahu. The second of our local crews to finish. Put your hands together for the Lanikai Canoe Club. Lanikai.
Would have liked to have seen it the other way around, but I'm glad for Outrigger, and I'm real proud of Lanikai.
We just wasn't in the cards, I guess. You know, we made a couple of mistakes as it is. I mean, you can't make any. You make no mistakes to win this race.
This crew is Team New Zealand. Team New Zealand, the canoe is Tauralani. They are third to finish.
We thought we were in of the show. We sort of come back at them, and but you know, better team on the day. And congratulations to them.
The start was fantastic. That's the best start we had, and on the Big Island we have a lot of flat water, and we've been training in whatever bumps we could find. And we're real happy. That's the best we've done in a long time.
Australians and Tahitians have been ferocious competitors in Hawaiian waters over the years, but Rocky, 1998 is not their year.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, this morning, Billy Balding took time to share with me his excitement. I could see the eye of the tiger in his eye and the twinkle, and he said, I've got the right combination. We've got the aged veterans, Mark Kane, Walter Guild. I got an infusion of young guys, and if you give me a chance to surf, we can do the job today, and by gosh, they did.
Even if they hadn't done the job, Lanikai would have brought that trophy home to Hawaii.
Lanikai was right behind, and you know, I have to pay great tribute to both clubs because they are truly club paddlers, and to finish 1-2 like that and bring the trophy home, they both have a great deal of pride and things to be proud of.
Well said. On behalf of race analysts Rocky Higgins and Daryl Hara, thank you for joining us for the Banko Molokai Hoi. Ahui ho.